Every day, from the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep, a conversation is taking place within your mind. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are constantly speaking to yourself. These silent words may seem insignificant because no one else can hear them, yet they have a profound influence on the direction of your life. The human mind is always listening, always observing, and always responding to the messages it receives. Many people carefully choose their words when speaking to others, but they pay very little attention to the words they repeatedly speak to themselves. As a result, they unknowingly create mental habits that either strengthen their confidence or weaken their belief in their own abilities. The quality of your inner dialogue often determines the quality of your emotional state, your decisions, and ultimately your results. Think about the way you react when facing a challenge. Before taking action, your mind immediately begins offering opinions and interpretations. If your inner voice constantly tells you that success is difficult, that you are not capable, or that failure is inevitable, those thoughts begin influencing your behavior. You may hesitate when opportunities appear. You may avoid taking risks that could improve your life. You may doubt yourself even when you possess the necessary skills and knowledge. Over time, these repeated thoughts become familiar patterns. The subconscious mind accepts them as instructions and starts operating according to those beliefs. What begins as a simple thought eventually becomes an expectation, and expectations often shape reality. This principle has been emphasized for generations by teachers of personal development, including Dr. Joseph Murphy, who explained that the subconscious mind responds to the ideas impressed upon it repeatedly. When a person consistently focuses on fear, doubt, and limitation, those ideas become deeply rooted in the mind. On the other hand, when someone deliberately chooses thoughts of confidence, abundance, peace, and success, the subconscious begins working in harmony with those positive beliefs. The mind does not always distinguish between what is true and what is repeatedly accepted as true. For this reason, repetition becomes one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. The encouraging news is that you are not powerless over your thoughts. You have the ability to observe them, challenge them, and replace them with more constructive alternatives. Every positive statement you repeat strengthens a new mental pathway. Every empowering belief you embrace creates a stronger foundation for future growth. Change may not happen overnight, but each positive thought is a step in a new direction. The words you consistently speak to yourself become the blueprint from which your actions are built. If you want to transform your life, one of the best places to begin is by transforming the conversation taking place within your own mind. Your future is listening to what you say today. The challenge for most people is not that they lack potential, intelligence, or opportunity. The real challenge is that they often spend years repeating mental messages that work against their own success. These messages are rarely dramatic. They appear in subtle forms that seem harmless at first. A person may quietly think, "I am not ready, I will probably fail," or "things never work out for me." Because these thoughts are repeated so often, they begin to feel normal. Eventually, they become part of a person's identity. Instead of questioning these beliefs, many people accept them as facts. This is where the hidden power of self-talk becomes so important. The mind is constantly collecting evidence to support what it believes. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you are incapable, your attention naturally focuses on mistakes, setbacks, and weaknesses. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you're capable of growth and improvement, your attention begins to notice opportunities, solutions, and strengths. Consider how a successful athlete prepares before a major competition. Long before stepping onto the field, the athlete has already spent countless hours mentally rehearsing success. They visualize positive outcomes, focus on their strengths, and reinforce confidence through repetition. This process is not limited to sports. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether you're building a career, improving relationships, pursuing financial goals, or developing personal confidence. The thoughts you consistently repeat become the foundation of your actions. Your mind responds to the story you tell it every day. If the story is filled with fear and limitation, your behavior will often reflect those expectations. If the story is filled with confidence and possibility, your actions begin moving in a more empowering direction. One of the most important lessons inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy is that the subconscious mind responds strongly to repetition combined with emotion. A thought that is repeated with conviction carries far more influence than a passing idea. This is why affirmations can become powerful when practiced consistently and sincerely. They are not simply words spoken without meaning. They are deliberate instructions given to the deeper levels of the mind. Over time, these instructions begin shaping attitudes, habits, and perceptions. A person who consistently affirms peace starts responding differently to stress. A person who consistently affirms confidence starts approaching challenges with greater courage. The transformation may seem gradual, but it is often profound. As you move through each day, pay attention to the language you use when speaking about yourself. Notice the thoughts that appear automatically during moments of difficulty. Instead of accepting every negative thought as truth, learn to challenge it. Replace discouragement with encouragement. Replace doubt with belief. Replace fear with possibility. The goal is not to ignore reality, but to develop a mindset that supports growth rather than limitation. Every positive thought becomes a small investment in your future. Every empowering word strengthens a healthier belief. As this understanding begins to take root, you start to realize that every thought carries a direction. No thought is completely neutral. It is either moving you toward greater confidence, peace, and achievement, or is pulling you toward doubt, fear, and limitation. Many people spend years searching for external solutions while overlooking the powerful influence of their internal world. They believe that a change in circumstances will automatically create a change in mindset. However, in many cases, the opposite is true. A change in mindset often comes first, creating the foundation for new opportunities, better decisions, and improved results. The mind acts like a filter through which every experience is interpreted. Two people can face the same challenge and produce completely different outcomes because they are responding through different belief systems. One sees obstacles as proof that success is impossible, while the other sees obstacles as temporary lessons that lead to growth. The difference begins with the thoughts they have chosen to accept and repeat. This is why awareness is such a valuable skill. The moment you become conscious of your inner dialogue, you gain the ability to influence it. Instead of allowing random thoughts to control your emotions, you begin directing your mental focus with purpose. At first, this may require effort because negative thinking patterns often become deeply familiar through years of repetition. The mind naturally returns to what it knows best. Yet every time you redirect your attention toward a more empowering thought, you weaken the influence of the old pattern and strengthen a new one. This process is similar to building a muscle. Progress may seem small in the beginning, but consistency produces remarkable results over time. Small improvements, repeated daily, eventually create a completely different mental environment. Dr. Joseph Murphy often emphasized that the subconscious mind responds faithfully to whatever it is repeatedly given. It does not argue, criticize, or debate. It simply accepts dominant impressions and works to express them through attitudes, behaviors, and experiences. This is why it is so important to guard the thoughts that occupy your attention most frequently. If you continually focus on disappointment, the subconscious begins expecting disappointment. If you continually focus on possibility, growth, and success, the subconscious starts organizing your behavior around those expectations. What you consistently dwell upon becomes increasingly powerful because repetition transforms ideas into beliefs, and beliefs influence action. Imagine waking up every morning with the deliberate intention of speaking words that support your future rather than undermine it. Instead of immediately focusing on problems, you focus on solutions. Instead of rehearsing fears, you reinforce confidence. Instead of magnifying limitations, you acknowledge possibilities. These small mental adjustments may seem simple, but they gradually reshape your outlook on life. As your outlook changes, your behavior changes. As your behavior changes, your results begin to change as well. The mind is always listening, always learning, and always responding to the messages it receives. Therefore, choose your thoughts carefully. Speak